welcome to what I think is our last Out of the Park 22 video here on the channel. I've made X number of videos, Y number of hours logged watching, and Z number of people have watched my videos this year, so thank you all very much. So this is the end of the Hartford Whalers expansion sim. You can see I'm at the end of the season, which is not how I was planning to do it. I'd gone up to the trade deadline and was going to record, and then I got sick. I don't know how my voice sounds right now. Maybe it sounds like I'm still sick. Doesn't feel great. But anyways, I wanted to get something out to conclude this series. So I just kind of like simulated to the end after the trade deadline and didn't do anything with it. But I just wanted to be able to present. So you can see we finished 81 and 81, 12 games out. It was way more interesting than that. We were in first place in August. We were in the hunt going into September. I think we might have been in first place, up a game on the Rays in going into September, because then we went 9 and 18. Does that make sense? What did the Rays do in September? 17 and 10. So they picked up like 8 games on us. No, I guess we were falling behind a little bit by that point, but we were in the hunt. I mean, we were only a few games behind, and we were definitely in the wild card hunt then. So yeah, things were going well, and August was good, and then we just fell apart. It was some injuries, maybe some player performance too. I mean, 14th in runs scored, 5th in batting average, so 15th in slugging. Made some deals, and I guess they didn't work out all that well. Our pitching was still really good. So I'm gonna go back to the transaction log and just show you the moves I made. I don't remember like all the why and the what and the like how the downstream impact of each move and why I did different things, but I can show you each move that I made. So it started on July 18th. We traded Brady Aiken and Daniel Robertson, 2 guys who were older and in our system. We traded in the Rockies for Brandon Belt. Brandon Belt came over to play first base for us, which became especially important because Evan White went out for the year. But you can see Belt was pretty decent in Colorado, and this does adjust for Park, so it's not as if he was just his numbers look good because he was in Coors. This adjusts for Park factors, the plus stats. But as you can see, just an 81 WRC plus for us. He was really bad, disappointing. Still a really low risk trade. We didn't really give up anything for him. Let's see. Next, we traded Domingo Hermann to the Royals because he was just really bad for us, and he still had trade value. He had really high trade value. He's really bad for us. So much that we got Whit Merrifield, who came over and was an absolute monster for us. He missed like 5 weeks in I think he missed about 4 weeks, like mid-August to mid-September maybe. And that crushed us because he was carrying this offense. I mean, look at this. In 35 games, he put up 2.5 WAR and a 210 WRC plus. He's under contract for next year. But that injury was just huge for us. And at the same time, Noah Syndergaard went down for the year, our #1 starter. So Merrifield and Syndergaard missing so much time in August and September was just crushing. We also got Steven Brault, who ended up, I think, being our #5 starter down the stretch, and he was like fine. He was fine. And then what else did we do? We traded Jacob Amaya to the Red Sox to get Kevin Kiermeier because our center fielder Carlos was just not getting it done. So we brought in Kiermeier, and man, his bat was just miserable too. A 61 WRC plus. He didn't do any better than Carlos did. Now, feeling wise, he was still great. He was Kiermeier. We got Enrique Hernandez in that deal because for some reason they wanted to give him to us. We then turned around and made a big trade. We flipped Kike, as well as Michael Busch, who is the number 52 prospect in baseball, and had played 1 game for us and had 2 hits, including a home run. I think this is a good player, but really, even in a long-term sim where I was doing more than 1 season, I still would have looked to dealt him because, I don't know. I mean, I guess he's fine as a first base prospect, but like, I don't know, like, you can find first basemen who can hit okay. Like, if he had a good enough range to play second base, like, he'd be an all-world player, but you really can't play him at second base. And outfield, I mean, I suppose you could kick him to a corner outfield and first base DH type. Like, I mean, I'd probably keep him if I had him, but it doesn't hurt to trade him as much when he can't play a position worth much of anything. We traded Bruce Maxwell, who was our basically third string catchers in the minor. Jose Alvarado we dealt, who was kind of like the odd man out in our bullpen. And we got the guy who became our number 1 starter when Syndergaard went down, Pablo Lopez, who's under team control still, an excellent pitcher who's having a really good year in Miami. As you can see, he was fine for us, but not nearly as good. You can see, a lot of these trade deadline acquisitions didn't work out that well. I mean, Merrifield worked out better than anything you ever could have dreamed of. Belt was bad. Kiermeier was bad. Lopez was just fine. He was fine. So those were the end of our trades. Let's go to the lineups and just sort by WRC+. So you can see Whit Merrifield led with 170 in 120 games. Landaverde missed a little bit of time, hurt, but he put up 5.2 WAR. I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year at the 140 WRC+. Posey, a good season in part-time duty. Farmer, a good bench season. Guillorme, 4.7 WAR. Excellent. Escobar was like, all right, but probably looking to deal him for next year. Almonte was fine as a backup outfielder. Marwin Gonzalez was fine as a utility player. Kevin Newman was really a weak link at shortstop. I mean, his bat was okay, but his glove just isn't good enough. We talked about Belt. Brian O'Grady was a bench bat who wasn't up much of the year. Cole Tucker was all right. Bat was a little disappointing. Glove was really good. Sanchez was fine as a catcher. I mean, the thing that stands out, I think if we have Merrifield for a whole season, like the Merrifield-Landaverde combo is pretty deadly. But if you look at by plate appearances, you're given too many plate appearances to guys who are below league average, right? Landaverde was 4th because of injury. Merrifield was 7th because of injuries, and there are just too many guys. I mean, Guillorme, that's fine, but there are too many guys here who are below league average getting a ton of playing time, which you're going to expect an expansion team. We did better than I thought. It was disappointing to be a game up in mid to late August and then just collapsed. Pitching side of things, who led in WAR? Now, Syndergaard isn't here, but he didn't really have a very good season. His ERA was below average. FIP was worse than league average. Really just not a good season for him in terms of being a number 1 starter. Didn't strike a lot of guys out. Gave up a lot of home runs. He's not going to be back. I mean, look at what he wants. Get out of here, man. And so, yeah, but Morejón was great. He's 23. I mean, this is looking like a bright future for him here on this team. Christian Javier was pitched in 50 games, made 14 starts, and was just excellent. Paddock was fine. Lopez we covered. Brault was a fine 5th. He ended up 4th. What happened? Why did he go 4th? I can't remember. Oh, I think when Syndergaard got hurt, he went from our 5th to our 4th starter. But you can see so many bullpen guys were really good. Mason Fox, Cabrera, White, Hearn, Diaz, Duvall. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good squad, I think. And I think it would be a squad that would be competitive next year, too. Especially if you could free up some money, maybe Escobar's money, and go out and spend on a shortstop. I think this team definitely needs a shortstop. But, if you get rid of the 16.3, I mean, good luck. I mean, he didn't have a bad year, but it's you could pay a guy much less than this and have him come in. But he gave us some credibility. He was our first big signing, Eduardo Escobar was. But Lopez will be back. Landaverde, Merrifield, they'll all be back. Kiermeier has a huge team option. It's $13 million, and he's such a great fielder. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you'd probably keep him on that 1-year, $13 million deal, but that's tough. That's tough. And I try to chip away at arbitration estimates, get Guillorme for maybe a little less than this, get Morejón for maybe a little bit less than this, if possible. He wants 5.3. So, and maybe my owner will pay up and give some more money. Also, this stupid, I'm gonna have to go into commissioner mode. I'm not gonna play this anymore. I'm done with this sim, but I got the donate to the charity thing, and then your market size shrinks, which is really doesn't make any sense to me. But anyways, yeah, I mean, Evan White will be back and hopefully healthy. He went out on July 7th. He tore his PCL, so that was a major bummer because he was starting to hit really well. Starting to hit really well. The one thing I wanted to look at is like what went wrong in September? Like, okay, Merrifield was lights out. Gonzalez, Landaverde. Our offense actually looks not. We had a bunch of guys who did well. Excuse me. I mean, Newman was like unfreaking playable. Kiermeier unplayable. Rest of the guys are fine. Yeah, I don't know. Like, did the pitching just like tank? Yeah, I mean, a 9, a 7. All these bullpen guys did pretty poorly. Brault, Lopez, Paddock were all pretty poor. So, yeah. In Out of the Park 23, it's nice to have the sortable team stats, and maybe I can look at it by like month to see what exactly went wrong. But that's that's it. This is the playoff tree. The Yankees and Red Sox in wild card game. That's great. Mets and Padres. Then we've got Twins, Angels, Rays, Dodgers, Brewers, Braves. So the standings tell us batter war. Lindor led the way at 8.1 on the AL. Oh, Randy Arozarena. But anyways, yeah, see this cough that won't go away and a lot of other things. But so I'm going to stop recording now because talking just irritates it more and more. But thanks for watching Out of the Park 22. We'll be back soon with more Out of the Park 23. Shortly, in like less than a week, the beta will be in our hands. But sorry the Hartford Whalers let you down, but it was a good run. I wish I could have brought you guys in along the way, but as we were making a push before our September collapse, but so it goes. Talk to you guys in the next video, which should be an Out of the Park 23 video. All right, bye.